Hello everyone. So I wanted to make a video to talk about what is probably the most important step to allow for any kind of growth in our lives, and that is to take responsibility for where we're at right now. Um, it kind of stems from my own personal experience. I was suffering from anxiety when I was younger and didn't really do too much about it, didn't really realize there was much I could do about it. Even reading a book was something like I never did. And then I went and saw the doctor and he said, "Oh, you know what? You've got a chemical imbalance. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. There's nothing you can do about it, but here's some pills." And then I took those pills, and I was on medication for about 5 years. And then I said, and then this got progressively worse. The condition, even though I was taking the meds, I was still dealing with anxiety a lot. Depression was creeping up here and there. But it wasn't towards the tail end of taking that medication that I started to look at other avenues of what was going on. Like I started to consider, what if, what if the doctor was wrong? What if, I created this? Like I said before, I didn't do anything about it. What would happen is the anxiety would come up. I'd deal with it for a couple of months, but it always seemed like something I just needed to let happen to me. I just needed to get through it, and so therefore I wasn't cultivating any skills to deal with it. And so that was the moment. That was kind of the moment where it was like, well, maybe I created it through my own negligence. I mean, it wasn't a deliberate act. It happened by accident, so to speak. But it was still something that I created. And so because I could take responsibility, finally I could actually start looking around. I started reading books. I started talking to different kinds of people. I started opening my mind to the different mindsets of those that are happy and those that are actually going out and creating their lives. And so that actually created a shift that I needed. And it was all because I took responsibility for dealing with anxiety. I took responsibility for being depressed. And it's interesting because even now, I feel like I'm dealing with a certain form of depression. Right? In for the past month, I have had a hard time getting excited about anything. And the interesting thing is, even though there has been times where I felt like a victim of that, where I felt like I was getting sad about that, it was only when I was in that state of unconscious awareness. As soon as I became aware that I was taking on that victim mentality, that I couldn't feel excited about anything, I said, no, I'm going to own this. I'm going to take responsibility for that because it allows me to grow. It allows me to move towards that. I mean, I don't know how I'm coming off to you right now, but I don't think I'm coming off as someone who's depressed. Even though that's one of the clinical definitions of depression, is to not be able to experience a certain type of joy or just any joy or excitement. I mean, it's creeping in now, but I truly believe it's because I didn't enroll in the victimhood behind it. We talk about how we struggle with depression, or we're struggling with this and we're struggling with that. And you think about the word struggle. It's like you're not really doing anything about it. I picture someone who's pinned by a wrestler and the person underneath is just going, ah, like they're not doing anything about it. It's like if I'm feeling depression, I like to say I'm dealing with it. I'm working with it. I'm working a way through it. I'm taking responsibility for it and I'm doing something about it. So no matter what state you're in, no matter what you're dealing with, if you feel like you can't grow or you can't move ahead, just see if you can take on taking responsibility for that. See if you can own it, if you can choose it. Because it does create space for you, and when you have that space, you can really move forward. Okay, I guess that's that. Thanks.